Hello, welcome back. Short video because the terminology around conveyancer, solicitor, and property lawyer can be confusing. In Queensland, you may encounter all three of those terms, and all three of those people can do conveyancing. In Queensland, a conveyancer does not have a conveyancing license like they do in Victoria or New South Wales, for example. In Queensland, a person who does conveyancing is generally a paralegal, which means that they're not a solicitor or lawyer. And I'll talk about the differences between those two terms in a second. What generally happens is that your conveyancer will be a paralegal and they will be supervised by a lawyer. And so they are fine to do everyday conveyancing. Some of them have been doing it for years and years, and totally reliable and knowledgeable. However, if anything is left field, then they must consult their supervising lawyer to give them instructions on what to do. So that is a conveyancer in Queensland. In Victoria, New South Wales, for example, there is actually a license that you can obtain to be a conveyancer, but that's not the case in Queensland. Now, the difference between a solicitor and a property lawyer, there's probably, this is just words here, to be honest with you. A lawyer is a solicitor is a lawyer, a barrister is somebody who represents you in court. So I've used, for this workbook, I've used the term solicitor as being somebody with a law degree. They could be a solicitor in any field, family law, any other type of law. A property lawyer is a solicitor who specializes in property law. Now, I believe that that is a good, thorough explanation of those terms. You probably just need a conveyancer, because the good news is that conveyancer will be supervised by a lawyer. And so you might want to ask them certain questions like, and I have some notes here for you. I think that unless you've got a complicated situation, you don't really need to look further than a conveyancer to purchase a home, because you know that they've got the backup of the lawyer should they need any further instructions on your situation. And so a good question to ask them is, so what's it look like? Who's going to be working on my case? Is it going to be Janice? Is she my conveyancer for my entire relationship with your organisation? Or does it depend? Does Janice only work 3 days a week? And then if it's a Thursday, I'm talking to somebody else. So I would encourage you to find a boutique firm. This is my preference, a boutique firm who you know, and you know who's looking after you. You should be meeting them before you start your property search anyway. And upfront, they should be explaining how they work, their pricing structure, and giving you all of the description about the backup lawyers who will be on your team should you need them. Okay. And you'll probably find that some conveyancers, they will have their lawyer, but if something controversial erupts in your purchase, then they will have your information to then give to somebody who specializes in the area in which you need help. Maybe a barrister, maybe a lawyer who specializes in that area, depending upon what that situation is. What else can I tell you about conveyancers and supervising lawyers? Make sure that there's the one person looking after you. Ask about the fees. A lot of times you'll find conveyancers saying, look, we'll do everything at $600, in and out, done and dusted. I'm not sure that that's going to be the best fit for everyone, maybe not for you. And this is why have a look at what work they're actually doing for that $600. Have a look at what searches they do, what searches are also available, and what searches they may recommend. You have a conversation with them from the beginning right through to the end of what's their support right through to the end of your purchase. So from the beginning, they should be explaining to you a lot of information to set you up for success. And right through to when you've got your keys in your hand, and you still have a question about, oh, I just received a rates notice, what do I do with this? So I would encourage you to choose your conveyancer wisely. Don't just pick the cheapest one, because there are many situations that can arise where your conveyancer will be your best friend. I promise you. What else do I need to tell you about conveyancing and solicitors? Make sure that you read the reviews on Google. Yes, it's great to get a referral from a friend who's used this particular conveyancer and everything went smoothly. Read the reviews, because your friend's situation may be different from your situation, and you may have different issues arise in your property purchase. So yes, be careful with somebody who's got a very low fixed fee, and ask what's included in that and what's not included in that. Because if then you go to somebody who's got a fixed fee of $2,000, and yet they have all of these inclusions in it, and they provide a service that's from before you step into your first open home right through until you've said goodbye to the removalist truck and you've moved in, that's the kind of conveyancer I'd pick if I was you.